My son left me alone. The morning sun slipped through the curtains as I slowly opened my eyes. My name is Margaret, and I was 72 years old. My small house was quiet. Too quiet. The only sound I could hear was the ticking of the old clock hanging on the wall. Every morning, I made 2 cups of tea out of habit. One was for me, and the other was for my son, Daniel. But for the past 6 months, the second cup had remained untouched. Daniel had left me, not because we argued, not because he hated me. He simply said, "Mom, I need to live my own life." Those words stayed in my heart every single day. I remembered the day he packed his bags. He hugged me quickly, promised to call every weekend, and smiled before driving away. At first, he called every Sunday. Then every 2 weeks. After that, once a month. Finally, the phone stopped ringing. At first, I blamed myself. Maybe I wasn't a good mother, I whispered while looking at our family photos. My neighbors often asked, "Does your son visit you?" I always smiled and answered, "He's very busy." But deep inside, my heart broke a little every time. One rainy afternoon, while cleaning the attic, I found an old wooden box. Inside were Daniel's childhood memories, his tiny shoes, his first drawing, and a letter he had written when he was only 8 years old. It read, "Dear Mom, when I grow up, I will always stay with you because you are my best friend." Tears filled my eyes. Life changes people. Sometimes promises disappear, but memories never do. Instead of crying, I decided to change my life. The next morning, I joined the local library. They were looking for volunteers to read books to children after school. The first day, I was nervous. What if they don't like me? I thought. But as soon as I started reading, 20 smiling faces looked at me with excitement. "Read another story," one little girl shouted. For the first time in months, I laughed. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I visited the library. Soon, children began calling me Grandma Maggie. One afternoon, a shy boy named Liam stayed behind after everyone had left. "Can I ask you something?" he said quietly. "Of course," I replied. "My grandma lives very far away. Would you mind if I called you Grandma sometimes?" I couldn't speak. Instead, I simply hugged him. That small moment filled the empty space in my heart. Weeks turned into months. My life slowly became colorful again. I planted flowers in my garden. I learned how to bake cookies. I even started taking English classes because I wanted to read more books aloud. One evening, while watering my roses, my phone rang. The screen showed a name I hadn't seen in almost a year. Daniel. My hands trembled as I answered. "Hello." There was silence. Then I heard his voice. "Mom, I'm sorry." I closed my eyes. He continued, "I thought success meant working all the time. I forgot the person who loved me the most." I didn't know what to say. He asked softly, "Can I visit you this weekend?" I looked around my peaceful little garden. "I'd like that," I answered. Saturday arrived. Daniel stood at my front door holding flowers and a small chocolate cake. He looked older, more tired. As soon as he saw me, tears rolled down his face. "I'm sorry I left you alone." I smiled gently. "You left the house," I said, "but you never left my heart." We hugged for a long time. During dinner, Daniel noticed dozens of colorful drawings on my refrigerator. "Whose are these?" "The children from the library made them for me." He smiled. "You've been busy." "I've been living," I replied. He looked around the house. "It feels different." "It is different," I said. I finally learned that happiness doesn't wait for someone else to return. Daniel nodded slowly. I wish I had understood that sooner. Over the next few months, Daniel visited every weekend. Sometimes we cooked together. Sometimes we walked in the park. Sometimes we simply sat quietly and drank tea. Our relationship became stronger because now we appreciated every moment together. One day, Liam visited the house with a handmade card. It said, "Thank you for being everyone's grandma." Daniel read it and smiled. "I understand now," he whispered. "You gave love even after your heart was broken." I looked at him and replied, "Love grows when we share it, not when we hide it." That evening, as the sun disappeared behind the trees, our family sat together in the garden. There was laughter, warm tea, and hope. I realized something important. Sometimes the people we love walk away. Sometimes they return. But while waiting, we should never stop living, growing, or loving others. Because loneliness is not the end of the story. Sometimes, it is the beginning of a beautiful new chapter. Moral of the story: never stop living because someone leaves. Keep growing, keep loving, and life will often surprise you with new happiness when you least expect it.